I am Akivasha. I am the woman who never grew old, who fools say was lifted from the earth by the gods, in the full bloom of her youth and beauty, to queen it forever in some celestial clime. Nay, it is in the shadows that mortals find immortality. 10,000 years ago, I died to live forever, taken from the hour of the dragon. Hello and welcome to all the men and women of the West. I'm Joe, and today we'll be discussing Akivasha, at least as she appears in the novel of The Hour of the Dragon. This will have nothing to do with the movie, which that Akivasha will be examined in greater length and depth at a later time. The original Akivasha is a woman whose past is, quite frankly, a mystery to us. Millennia ago, she was apparently the most beautiful Stygian princess who ever lived, or Stygian at all, who ever lived. So renowned for her beauty was she, that the very thought of growing shriveled with old age pushed her to seek out an alliance with dark gods so that she may gain immortality and eternal youth, so that Akivasha may remain beautiful forever. But the cost of this alliance would be that she'd have to forever consume the blood of the living to perpetuate her youth. And one quick note, Akivasha's name is derived from the Egyptian name for the Achaeans, Akivasha, or Akivasha. So there is obviously a historical inspiration there. And like a Greek tragic figure, say Achilles, the greatest of the Achaean heroes from the Iliad, her greatest virtue, I guess you could say, and vanity is what led her to her fall into darkness. By the time of the Hour of the Dragon, she belongs to a temptress sect of vampires and is very likely their progenitor, though she is not the original progenitor of vampires herself, so just the one sect. For more information, I'd recommend Grimdark's vampire video. As to Conan, he met her in the temple of Set, searching for the mystical heart of Ahriman in order to help him regain the kingdom of Aquilonia from his enemies, which included the 3,000-year-old Chthonian demon sorcerer Xaltotin. It was said that she offered to lead him to the sorcerer Thutothemes, who held the heart. However, once in her burial chambers, she would attempt to seduce Conan after he found her empty sarcophagus. Entranced, Conan would come very close to being bitten and turned into her slave. However, Conan, remembering his true love, Zenobia, escaped from her chamber whilst a vampiress was cackling. He did end up leaving, but Akivasha would become the main villainess of a novel written by Timothy Ford Allen, which saw her lead an army against Aquilonia and its rightful rulers, King Conan and Queen Zenobia, in the novel Return of Akivasha. Akivasha would also appear in Age of Conan Unchained as a boss in a location called the Sanctum of the Burning Souls. Akivasha is one of the most wicked and mysterious villains of the story of Conan. In her first appearance, which has obviously left quite the mark on the fans, she ended up acting as a bit of a shadow to Zenobia. Zenobia is the queen archetype in her fullness, with Akivasha appearing as a bit more of the temptress, that is to say the shadow of the lover archetype, though one could possibly see her as a shadow queen archetype to Zenobia herself, though it is very interesting how it's the thought of Zenobia that pushes Conan to reject her, and it is very interesting that she is also one of the only villains Conan does not destroy in the original Howard stories, instead choosing to flee from her and her shadows. Hope you enjoyed this video. Happy Halloween to everyone, and do stay tuned for the next Conan video, as we'll be starting the Tower of the Elephant Book Club podcast next week. Don't forget to smash that like and that subscribe button, as though you were Zenobia and Conan taking down their enemies.